Yeah. What's up, kings and queens? We're back again. And as usual, no, this is not as usual. This is breaking news. We are not talking about the Miwa case, but we are going to be drawing parallels from what's happening here. Right. General Mkhwanazi. Like kudos. Kudos to General Mkhwanazi. Like fire. That's fire. That's fire. We're going to react to General Mkhwanazi exposing some of the things that are happening with the entangled and the captured the policy ministerial cabinet and or department, with the the judiciary. Some big policemen are also involved. You know what? He really satisfied me when he said there will never be peace between a policeman and a criminal, when referring to General Sibiya being that the minister was trying to force some peace between them. But he said he's not having none of that. Kudos to General Mkhwanazi. Like, this is what we need. You see how bold he is standing there talking about this filthy process that's going on behind the scenes, where these people are involved in political killings. We're going to do a live reaction. Let's just take a listen, guys. You have to listen to this. This is dope. This is some of the best news I've heard in years coming from the police. This is dope. Take a listen, guys. I will stop it where I feel I need to drop in something. You can drop a comment below. Not a coward like our Brigadier Ginenda. He's supposed to be trusted by us, but he's hiding behind the mask. This general is exposing big names, and he's doing it barefaced. Like, he's not hiding behind anything. Once again to General Mkhwanazi. Wow, man, this is dope. This is great news. Let's take a listen, guys.
All right, thank you so much for availing yourself here on a Sunday morning. I hope you're all feeling good after the whole events that happened in Durban yesterday. You did not enjoy yourself too much, so you're still to focus today. Let me salute my fellow colleagues, the generals and the district commissioners that are assisting me in fighting crime in this province, together with my deputies, both from the policing side as well as the investigation. I'm here this morning in order to speak to you about the policing issues that are happening in KZN as well as in the Republic of South Africa. So I'm presenting this briefing to the citizens of this province, and by extension, the inhabitants of the Republic of South Africa, specifically about the work of the political killings task team.
Yeah, so I'll skip that. Yeah, let's go. Sorry for that.
It's been spoken about a lot. I'm sure you know that. Let me give a bit of a background about this political killings task team. In 2018, the President of the Republic, His Excellency President Ramaphosa, established the Interministerial Committee, which we refer to as IMC, which consists of the Ministers of Police, the Minister of State Security, the Minister of Defense, the Minister of Justice and Correctional Services, and Correctional Development. These ministers were given a task by the President to ensure that they deal with matters of security nature that affect political leadership in this province. You will recall that the minister had visited the family of the late Musawenkosi Kashana Mkhunu in Plesisle in Pietermaritzburg in May 2018. It was then where this IMC was established by the President. So it is a committee of ministers, not a police directed operation, but a committee that involved different departments. The IMC at the time met and listened to the investigation report that was presented, the so-called political task team that was established before them. And the observation, amongst others, was that the task team was working in silos. It was compromised, and that it did not have any investigation as well as a prosecutorial plan or strategy. As a result, there was a little or no progress in the investigation and prosecution of these cases. A decision was therefore taken by the IMC to establish a national integrated multidisciplinary task team, which consists of the South African Police Service, the National Prosecuting Authority, NPA, supported by both state security as well as correctional services, which commenced its work in July of 2018 to implement the now tried and tested analysis-led and prosecution-driven investigation strategy. As a result of the excellent performance, the Political Killings Task Team has been assigned in another presidential intervention project. I can name the few: the killing of the traditional leaders in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, as well as the murders that happened in the University of Fort Hare in the Eastern Cape. Since the establishment of this Political Killings Task Team in July 2018, the team has been investigating a total of 612 case dockets. These case dockets include murders, attempted murders, intimidation, conspiracy to commit murders, and other cases.
Now, listen, when really hard work is done, like real investigation is done, SMSs, WhatsApp, and all that, there's a communication that's been going on between the minister and his cronies and some guy from Northwest called Mkhwanazi. And so, it's
a total of 436 suspects were arrested.
It's a string of events that really show you what kind of investigation was done here. Politicians captured. So do you think they would have anything to say when it comes to what's going on in the Mewa case? Probably the judge here know that the minister is captured, so he's gonna toe the line. Let's continue, guys. This is a very hardworking general. I'm taking my head off to him, and he's doing it bold face. He's doing it. He's not hiding behind any mask. He's not even hiding anyone's name. He's mentioning them. Take a listen.
Dead and charged. 156 firearms were recovered, of which 55 of them were linked directly with ballistically through our forensic testing to the political related cases. An additional 35 suspects who are members of the South African Police Service were arrested. The notable one is the one who's now in prison, who's been working with the parliamentarian who was involved in the murder, about the murder of one Siniso Makaka. We're going to talk about that later. A total of 128 accused were found guilty on 106 cases. 29 accused were sentenced to life in prison. 40 accused were sentenced between 10 to 35 years. 25 accused were sentenced between 1 to 9 years. 23 accused were sentenced between 3 to 12 months. And there's quite a lot of awaiting trial prisoners that are going to be finalized in a few weeks.
This is despite the fact that Senzo Mchunu, as he's alleging, and the General Sibi trying to block the investigation. General Sibi issuing a command, bring all the dockets here. Nobody's touched the dockets, and now the dockets are just sitting with him. And Ms. General is saying, I'm asking myself, why are those dockets just sitting with the right? Let's continue, guys. This is very interesting.
So a total of sentences that is total number of years that has been given, if I add all of them, amounts to about 1,801 years of imprisonment. This is the work done by the team since 2018 to date that have led into the successful prosecution because of this integration working between the SAPS and the prosecution. On the 26th of March 2025, this year, a total of 121 case dockets that were under investigation were taken away from the task team as directed by a Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection, a Lieutenant General Sibia, who was acting on the instruction of the Minister of Police to disband the team.
Stop taking meeting notes and let ClickUp AI Note Taker do it for you. It allows you to focus on your meetings, not your
This was done without the authority of the National Commissioner, nor I, as a Provincial Commissioner, was never informed. These case dockets have since March been sitting at the head office ever since, without any investigation work done on them. 5 of these dockets had already instruction to arrest perpetrators, but nothing has been done because a Lieutenant General Sibia, being instructed by the minister, or well, executing instruction of the minister, withdrew all these dockets and they're sitting in a archive in his office in Pretoria. God knows why. Therefore, only a total of 112 dockets which are still in court, of which 54 of them are political related and others will include parallel ad hoc, as well as those the dockets that are involving the incident at Fort Hare University, and 5 of them are traditional leadership, are still with the team at this present moment.
So these guys are, purposefully just blocking the investigations by holding on to the dockets, knowing damn well, okay, this is now they are colluding with the criminals. That means that basically means that they are working with the criminals to help them to evade the charges. Hence, they are holding on to the documents. They know that once those guys are arrested, they're going to start singing, and when they sing, they're going to implicate them. This is amazing. Wow. I was thinking, I had my hopes on Senzo Mchunu, thinking like, you probably, bring some, but wow, now listen to what's going on here. Wow, amazing.
In the year 2020, a request was received from Gauteng Organized Crime Investigating Unit to assist with the investigation to dismantle the organized crime syndicate that was operating in Gauteng, that was controlled in Gauteng, but operating in the rest of the country and in neighboring countries. I, as a Provincial Commissioner, took a decision to deploy 10 members from this political killings task team to go and support this organized crime unit in Gauteng. I can tell South Africans that this decision is for the disbandment letter of this team, because they overstepped their mandate of only focusing in KZN. They went to support Gauteng organized crime unit with the dismantling of a criminal syndicate. And I can confirm before the South Africans today that the investigation which these members were involved with in Gauteng has unmasked the syndicate. And this syndicate involves, amongst others, politicians who are currently serving in parliament. The law enforcement officers include the members of the South African Police Service, the Metro Police, and correctional services. They include prosecutors in Gauteng province, the judiciary, and all these are controlled by the drug cartel, as well as business people in that province of Gauteng.
Now, think about it. So you want to tell me that Ratat doesn't think that Palu could be captured as well by businessmen in Gauteng? Because he's mentioning that prosecutors are also involved, the judiciary is involved, so even judges. So we still have to listen to and hear, like probably in the future, one judge will be exposed and some prosecutors. Like Mbali is saying, hi Mbali, thank you for popping in. Same Sibiya who was in the Spurs house. Yeah, it was mentioned that he came there and then he played his part, he did whatever he did there. And yet, he still hasn't been brought here as a witness. So that means even after being, suspended and coming back to the force, they went on continue with the same thing that they were busy with. Nobody decided to catch a wake up, decided to tell themselves, no, I'm going to be, an exemplary, policeman. I'll try to do honest things. No. I told you that there are clans. People are forming clans in these government positions, and then they start protecting each other, doing all these things. Imagine a minister of police being directed by another politician from Mafike, probably is thinking about, this is all about the votes. That guy is probably holding sway, and that guy has businesses there in Mafike. He's got a pub, he's got what he's loaded, he holds some bashes, all those type of things. I was wondering where's all the money coming from. Now I get it. Oh, now I get it. There's a gravy train somewhere, which we missed.
This act, of course, undermines the criminal justice system in this country. Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi sends a WhatsApp message to myself, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, regarding the allegation on the defeating the ends of justice matters, which were widely publicized, which involves an incident that happened at the correctional service at Mpangeni in KwaZulu-Natal. Mr. Brown sends this message in September last year, long before the news came out in public about the incident that happened at Mpangeni.
Thinking he's gonna capture Mkhwanazi. I'm sure when he was sending that message, he was thinking he was gonna capture Mkhwanazi, just as he did the minister, just as he did Sibiya apparently. So he thought this message was going to scare Mkhwanazi to toe the line, only to find out that it is being kept as part of the investigation. Wow, man, nice job. Nice job for snitching on yourself.
He sends this message. In this message that he sends to the provincial commissioner, he attaches a police letter and he attaches a copy of the occurrence book, a register that is used at the police station that's supposed to only be accessed by police officers. But Mr. Brown, who's not a police officer, attaches those in his message and he sends it to the provincial commission. His word says is a plot to charge you. Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi also sends a screenshot of a presentation that was made on the 30th of September 2024, a presentation that was titled 2024-2025 Division Crime Intelligence Policies. He sends this to myself, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, as a provincial commissioner in KwaZulu-Natal. Surely this must have been a classified information where crime intelligence are presenting their policies. But this man has access to that, and he's not a policeman. When asked to share the copy of this presentation through that WhatsApp communication, he responded by saying, General Khan will brief you next week. There's only one General Khan in the South African Police Service, so is one Lieutenant General Sibiya in the South African Police Service.
Wow, man. This
Warm
is
up
amazing.
this winter with an
People are just-
exciting two-night safari stay deal at the Aquila Private Game Reserve.
People are just like loose. People are just like running things behind the scenes. We don't know about these things. People are controlling ministers, are controlling officials, police, like generals. Wow, man. Wow. I mean, this guy is sending General Mkhwanazi this note, this SMS, whatever, WhatsApp, thinking he's gonna scare him, only to find out that he has fallen into a trap. He landed there himself. Nobody called him to that trap. He landed in that trap himself, and he found a hardworking general who's not taking any gag from anybody. This is what I've realized about this general. Let's go, guys. Let's listen.
I've never heard of any other Lieutenant General.
This is about the 30 minutes presentation, so it's not going to be long. So let's just take a listen so that we can really hear how captured our ministers, our politicians, and our policemen are.
Generals in any other way in the security cluster in the country with the very same names. So I assume that I know very well. He further wrote on the very same WhatsApp message. He said that, I quote, "The minister is briefed. He has just arrived in Lusikisiki," end quote. You will recall, colleagues, that we had an incident in Lusikisiki, a mass murder that happened there. And the Minister of Police had gone visiting the families and that crime scene. So after this communication, the Provincial Commissioner called the Chief of Staff, Mr. Nkabinde, the Chief of Staff of the Minister of Police, and asked the Chief of Staff, who is this Bran Mkhwanazi? This Bran Mkhwanazi seems to be traveling with the minister to Lusikisiki. Who is he? Because I've never heard of him. The response from the Chief of Staff was that Mr. Bran Mkhwanazi is an associate of the minister, but is not employed in a department. That's when I got a confirmation about Mr. Bran Mkhwanazi. And I asked the Chief of Staff to send the phone number of this Bran Mkhwanazi, of which he did. It is that number that made me to confirm that indeed the person who's sending me WhatsApp messages is the same person that is called Bran Mkhwanazi and is from Northwest. On the 5th of March 2025, the South African Police appeared before the Portfolio Committee in Parliament. A presentation was made to this Portfolio Committee by the Provincial Commission of KwaZulu-Natal, which included the allegations of an associate of the Minister of Police, Mr. Bran Mkhwanazi. The minister denied on record. Go and Google a visual presentation to the Portfolio Committee on the 5th of March this year, towards the end of that briefing, where the Minister of Police responded and he said he does not know this Mr. Bran Mkhwanazi. He said that in Parliament. However, the minister confirmed that he knows this Mr. Bran Mkhwanazi during a telephone conversation that he had, which was posted.
You know, he's bringing like receipts. He's not playing around. He's bringing receipts. He's backing up his claims with receipts. I'm just trying to search pictures for Bran Mkhwanazi so that you can see him for himself. There's one of a picture of him on an ANC poster. I think it's in Mafikeng. I'll try to get it for you so that you can see for yourself who's that guy, who's this Bran Mkhwanazi that they're talking about. Let's go.
On X under the a handler at Load Care. This was on the 30th of March, where he confirmed that this was his comrade from Northwest. The conversation between the minister and that lady is available. You can go on X and find it on the 30th. If it's been removed from that account, as we finish this briefing, I'll share that with you. The evidence has been found in the cell phone of Mr. Vusimus, also known as Cat Matlala, which shows the communication between Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi and the Minister of Police, Mr. Senzo Mchunu. As I said, this was the beginning of the closure of the political task team. I'll try to outline some sequence of events. I had said the team left for Gauteng to go and assist organized crime in Gauteng. There was a shooting incident that had occurred in April 2024, where Mr. Swart, a QTech employee, was fatally shot while entering the company premises. QTech has been a long-standing service provider to Transnet. Shortly after the incident, 3 suspects, including a warrant officer, a South African Police Service warrant officer, a detective Tau Pule, were arrested in Johannesburg. During the arrest, weapons that were used in this murder, which was an AK-47 and a pistol, along with cell phones, were confiscated. I must applaud the team in Gauteng who had effected this arrest before the arrival of the team in KZN. It is the challenges that this investigating team of Gauteng encountered that led into the invitation.
Before we go far, I just want to show you this Brown Mkhwanazi on a poster, right? On a ANC poster. I think this is from Afike with some of the other politicians. Let's check it out. You see this guy, there he is. There he is. I want to try to make it bigger. Let me just do this. It's fine. Let me just do it like that. This is the guy. Let me just zoom it in. Oh my God, it's doing wonders. Okay. Let's just do it like that. One more, yeah. This is the guy. You can see him as the guy now. This is the guy. Wow, man. People got sway over these politicians. I think his currency is vote in these ANC meetings. I think so. Because you can see he's got his clan here as well. So guys, we are really far behind with these developments. Let's take a listen some more. Let's listen some more to General.
Killings task team arrival, they took these weapons and they went and tested them. So they conducted a ballistic test in order to check whether these farms were linked with that murder and many other murders perhaps that will have occurred in the country. Maybe let me pause on that one and come back into what had happened prior to us receiving the results from the task team, ballistic test result. On the 6th of December 2024, the task team visited the premises of the 2 of the high-profile syndicate, of which one, Mr. Katiso Molefe, was arrested for the murder of Mr. Swart of QTech.
These children are part of a revolution in educational methods and machines that may spark youngsters to achieve a potential.
During that arrest, an unusual activities were observed whilst the team were busy with the operation. These activities included a dispatching of members of the South African Police Service under the command of a senior manager at the head office to go and interrupt the operation that was unfolding. Fortunately, when they arrived there, the members realized that it is indeed a police operation, so they allowed the members to carry out their operation without disturbance. On the 30th December 2024, the ballistic expert issued a ballistic report which linked these firearms not only with the murder of Mr. Swart, but these firearms were linked with a number of high-profile cases. And these cases include very high-profile South African artists that were murdered in Gauteng, which occurred dating back as far as 2021. I'm not going to mention them, but we have them on record.
Guys, who's that? Which artist was murdered in Gauteng around that time? So guys, if you know, please share it in the comments. I'm curious to know that, but I'll find out. Wow, man, this thing runs far. It runs far. Let's take a listen.
Record. On the 31st of December 2024, the Minister of Police, Mr. Senzo Mkhwanazi, issues a letter to disband the political killings task team and to suspend the filling of vacancies within crime intelligence. In January, February, and April this year, the Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection, Lieutenant General Sibia, issued written instructions withdrawing all these cases from the task team to his office. On the 14th of May this year, 2025, the task team arrested Vusi Muzi, who's also known as Cat Matlala, for an attempted murder ×3. I must highlight that this Mr. Vusi Muzi Cat Matlala is an individual who was awarded a police contract of over 360 million rand in 2024. An analysis was conducted on electronic communication of this arrested person. This analysis reveals communication between the arrested Vusimus at Ket Matlala, Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi, an associate of the Minister of Police, as well as the Minister of Police, Senzo Mkhwanazi. On the 1st of January, the letter is issued on the 31st. On the 1st of January, 2025, Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi sends a WhatsApp to Vusi Muzi Cat Matlala, and it reads as follows, I quote, "I have arranged a meeting for Sibia and the minister. They must have a solution." And it follows another message. "The task team that came to your house and harassed you have been dissolved. They got the letter on Monday."
Wow, these people are running the show behind us. We don't know. We're thinking these ministers are taking these decisions independently, but no, there are people who are running the shows like silently behind the show, behind curtains, behind closed doors. There's somebody who's giving out orders for a task team to be disbanded. Wow. No, that's like they really got sway over these politicians. They really possess the power to remote them, to remote control them. I have arranged a meeting between, imagine that, I have arranged a meeting between the minister and the general. They must find a solution. In fact, it's an order somehow to those guys. Wow, man.
As we speak, they are bringing all docket to Sibia. This letter is issued on the 31st of December 2024. This communication is on the very next day, the 1st of January 2025, where it says the dockets have been called and have been sent to Sibia. Yes, we know the dockets only were sent to Sibia in March this year. Further analysis of the chats indicates that Vusimuzi Ket Matlala is financially supporting the Minister of Police and Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi's political endeavors. This is supported by the evidence of conversation and the proof of payments of guests for January 8 traveling cost and the Ghana dinner in Cape Town. This was done in 2025. The proof of payment, we have it. As I said, we're going to share with you where Mr. Matlala is sending this proof of payment to Mr. Brian Mkhwanazi. On the 2nd of January 2025, at about 10:05 in the morning, Vusimuzi Ket Matlala receives a copy of the letter of the disbandment of the political killing stars team from Mr. Brian Mkhwanazi, who is an associate with the Minister of Police. I pause to remind you that this is a very same Brian Mkhwanazi that the Minister of Police had denied in Parliament and later confirmed to be his comrade, but not involved with police matters. But he's sending this communication. That's what we have discovered through the investigation. On the 14th of January 2025, Mr. Brown communicates with Mr. Vusimuzi Ket Matlala as follows. I quote, "Sure, don't forget to work on your invoices." On the 15th January, Mr. Vusimuzi Ket Matlala responds with a screenshot of an invoice that he has submitted to the South African Police Service, which I guess was due for payment on his contract. On the 26th of January 2025, Mr. Brian Mkhwanazi sent a message to the Minister of Police, Senzo Mchunu, which reads as follows, I quote, "The guy of the funding in bracket 20 is also in Joburg from Tuesday. He is the one I said has a 3 billion contract with SAPS." Close quote. Open quote, again, another message. "I am also meeting with the DNC and the COS today." Now, in the abbreviation, the DNC in the South African Police Service is referred to as the Deputy National Commissioner. And the COS would be, in this regard, the Chief of Staff. He says, "I'm also meeting with the DNC and Chief of Staff today in Durban for finalization of Khumalo and General Mkhwanazi's matter." Close quote. Another message reads, "DNC is waiting for the Chief of Staff here. This is very significant." Close quote. This is extracted from the communication of the arrested person. So we ask ourselves a question: is there a theory of conspiracy targeting senior officers involving the Minister of Police in this country? On the 31st of December, we have seen Mr. Brian Mkhwanazi sending the following message to the Minister of Police, which reads, "Minister, I'm going to get the case number and the judgment for you. Now we got something proven by the court. It is a matter now which either Sibia or the minister can charge Khumalo and apply Rule 9 of the disciplinary regulations of the South African Police Service. It took the Constitutional Court to release a man who was sentenced to life imprisonment through a forced Section 204 confession. Imagine, Comrade Senzo, after 30 years of democracy, having this kind of policing. The good thing now is that these are not allegations, but a court judgment." This is extracted from a conversation that Mr. Brian Mkhwanazi is sending to the Minister of Police. On the 13th of May this year, the contract of Vusimuzi Ket Matlala was cancelled by the National Commissioner of the South African Police Service.
I totally agree with you, O'Brien Khumalo. I totally agree with you. He must resign. He's compromised, man. He's like hopelessly compromised. He's getting SMSs and they are leaking classified documents. They're doing all kinds of dirty things, which we did not vote for them to do that when they are in those offices. But no, they are doing these things. Like now, it's nice. It's heartwarming to know that there's somebody who's watching them, who has the might just like them, and he's going to deal with them. Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Vusutando Machowan. What's up, my brother? Thank you for popping in, and then thank you for Mbali for popping in, dropping a comment, and Gushas. Yeah, what's up, my king? Mapula Matlapaneng. Exactly, the one and only CMCB at this house. Yeah, this guy keeps popping up. And then thank you, Obren Kumala, for popping in, dropping a comment. Let's just continue listening. This is amazing, guys. Wow. Great news to be hearing from General Mkhwanazi. It's great to know that there's a dedicated officer like this in the force. Not only people who are concerned about covering for their cronies and stuff who are corrupt as well. This is a great relief.
On the 14th of May this year, Vusimuzi Cat Matlala sent a message to Brown Mkhwanazi, which reads, I quote, "Morning, just to let you know that my contract was cancelled yesterday, and I see you've been ignoring me and promising me things that never happened. Luckily, of every conversation, just in case something like this might happen, I'm taking all this to media and some to court on Friday when I do the interdict." Close quote. On the 30th of May, 2025, the Investigative Directorate Against Corruption, which is referred to as IDEC, requests the exhibits from the cell phone of Vusimuzi Cat Matlala from the political killings task team, and they download the content of the cell phone. IDEC is a unit that was established to deal with corruptions in the country. We don't know what is it that we're investigating for them to come and ask for these cell phone downloads on the 25th of May. On the 30th of May.
Why is it that I tend to believe the downloads that are coming from General Mkhwanazi more than if Gininda is saying it? If he says it, I believe it, because look at what he's doing. If he says these downloads came from the criminal's phone, I believe him. But it's hard for me to believe when Gininda, Mokhane, and Mkhola are saying it. It's hard for me, and Stein and the rest of the crew, the rest of the cooking crew. Let's continue, guys. This is great news.
On the 25th of June this year, the project coordinator of the political killings task team is arrested by IDEC. A dramatic arrest. A dramatic arrest. On the 26th of June 2025, the accused, Katiso KT Molefe, who was arrested by the very same task team, was granted bail. Guess that one went under the radar. The work of the organized crime in Gauteng, supported by the political killings task team, has indeed been compromised. The disbandment of the political killings task team was influenced by the sterling work.
It starts before dawn. The commitment, the determination.
They performed in Gauteng to uncover the criminal syndicate, which involved some members of the criminal justice system operating in Gauteng province, and not because of what I presented earlier, which was the work they did in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Their demise was as a result of them assisting Gauteng to uncover the criminal syndicate. Despite all these challenges, we acknowledge and appreciate the resilience of the members of the political killings task team. The political killings task team remains operational, albeit attempt to disrupt its work to protect and serve the inhabitants of the Republic, as enshrined in the Constitution under Section 205, subsection 3 of the Constitution of the Republic.
Yeah, guys. Now, this is just great work from General Mkhwanazi, right? I applaud him. I think we've heard enough. We now know that we have a minister that's compromised. We know that. We understand it now. He's out there. His name is out there. He has been outed by a general, a very respected general. This general's track record up to so far, and the way he communicates with the criminals, it just tells you he's not on their side, and he's not even having an inkling of thinking of being on their side. He's always thinking about saving the country. This last word that he just said, he's always concerned about that. Now, our minister, on the other hand, wow, man. Just tell me, why do we have officials who want to call and politicians who want to also involve themselves in tenders? It's either you want to be a businessman or you want to be a politician. I mean, you can't be both, because when you become both now, you're going to start killing people when your tenders get cancelled and things like that. You're going to start forcing people to award tenders to you just because you're a politician, you have sway over this policeman and all that. Like, why do these people have, what can I say? They have twisted ambitions, divided ambitions. They are not really consistent with, do they really want to be politicians or businessmen? Because they are politicians, but their main aim was to control all those tenders. You can hear, if you listen to General Mkhwanazi, now he's mentioning tenders. You can hear that also. This is also about the tenders. Anyway, guys, I just wanted us to just give a shout out and great kudos, like a big thank you to General Mkhwanazi for bringing this to our attention. And we now know he exposed these crooked officials who are pretending to be representing us. We now know he's the one who exposed them. If something happens to them, to him, we know what to look at. The remaining cops know what to look at. They can't be trying to, unless they will be captured too by the same people. So anyway, guys, I'm not going to take too much of a time. I just wanted to let you know we have a captured system. It has just been displayed by our own hardworking general, just showing us how these people are conducting business, remoting ministers behind closed doors. We don't know about that, but ministers are getting SMSs. When a minister is standing there on the stand, you think he's telling you his mind. It's not. Somebody is remoting his ass via WhatsApp, via a political cloud, telling him, you know, the next conference is coming, and then you know who has Limpopo, you know who has Mafike, you know who has Transvaal, whatever, all those areas. They control them like that. So since this is stomach politics, everybody's thinking about their stomachs. They are going to comply, no matter what. They're going to throw away all their values that they had hold dear, and that had made them who they are. They are going to throw them all away, thinking about the next billion. Anyway, guys, I'm bouncing out. Let me read this comment from our favorite queen, Khosikgadi Kgolo from Moseja, She's saying, greetings, queens. I almost missed this juicy info. This high-rank member, his name was being mentioned in court. One could have made arrangements to court to come and clear and clarify his name. Just thought they don't want to do it. He knows what he went to do there wasn't the right thing. It was even mentioned that at the time that he went there to the Spaza house, he was somehow kind of suspended. He was not in the force, so he was just meddling there. So as he is now holding dockets at his office, preventing investigation to continue. Guys, please, thank you for popping in. It was not going to be a long stream. I just wanted us, the kings and queens, to be highlighted as well. about what's going on. At least there are corrupt officials who are being arrested. I'm happy to see that, and I'm hoping that our lead investigator in the Mewa case is also in line to be investigated, because I don't think it's proper. And I think General Mkhwanazi did it on purpose to come out and mention people's name and do it with his face. He probably saw what happened in the Mewa case. It was like, what's going on here? This guy is giving us a bad name. Why is this guy appearing behind a judge, before a judge, wearing a mask and holding a gun? Like, it's intimidation tactics. So anyway, guys, please like and subscribe, like the live, hit that notification bell so that when we drop more content like this, you are in the loop. We'll see what we bring for you tomorrow. We'll be checking this story as well. I know this kind of topics don't interest the sense of Mewa crowd, but we really have to look at them sometimes, just to educate ourselves about what's going on besides this case. And this is a nice parallel, because we are dealing with corrupt officials in this case, and then corrupt officials are being arrested on the side, even including a minister. Imagine that, a minister. Wow, man, this is great work. Anyway, guys, that was all that I had for you. Please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell before you leave the show, and then share it if you can share it. Comment if you can. We out. Peace.